Hello everyone. Did you know that a single vitamin deficiency can silently damage your spinal cord for years before you ever feel it? And that a common blood test used to catch it can sometimes fatally mask that damage instead of revealing it? Today we are exploring vitamin B12, also known as cobalamin, covering its metabolic pathways, complex absorption, and neurological consequences. Let us begin with the molecular identity of this vitamin. Chemically, vitamin B12 is a highly complex water soluble organometallic compound defined by a critical central cobalt atom. Its bacterial origin is unique among vitamins since it is synthesized strictly by bacteria which are present in the human colon, though unfortunately unabsorbable there. For therapeutic use, pharmaceutical isolation utilizes cyanocobalamin, a highly stable and cost effective form designed to treat systemic deficiency. When it comes to dietary sources, vitamin B12 is animal exclusive, found strictly in liver, kidney, red meat, fish, eggs, milk, and cheese, and it remains relatively heat stable during cooking. In contrast, it is entirely absent from foods of vegetable origin. This creates an important timeline difference compared to folate. Folate stores are minor, only 5 to 20 milligrams, and deplete rapidly within 8 to 16 weeks of malabsorption. Vitamin B12, on the other hand, is stored in massive reserves that delay clinical deficiency, requiring 1 to 3 years of complete malabsorption or dietary depletion before these stores are exhausted. According to the Indian Council of Medical Research, known as ICMR 2020 guidelines, the recommended dietary allowance for normal adults is 2.2 micrograms per day, and the same 2.2 micrograms per day applies to infants and children. During pregnancy, an additional 0.25 micrograms per day is required, bringing the total to 2.45 micrograms. During lactation, an additional 1.0 micrograms per day is required, bringing the total to 3.2 micrograms. Absorption of vitamin B12 is a complex four-phase gastrointestinal sequence. Phase 1 is the salivary phase, called the protective handoff, where ingested B12 binds to R factor, a protective transport protein secreted by the salivary glands. Phase 2 is the pancreatic phase, called the cleavage, where in the small intestine, pancreatic enzymes cleave B12 from the R factor. Phase 3 is the gastric phase, called the crucial binding, where the freed B12 binds to intrinsic factor, known as IF, a glycoprotein secreted by gastric parietal cells. Phase 4 is the ileal phase, called receptor uptake, where the intact B12 intrinsic factor complex reaches the terminal ileum and binds to specific mucosal receptors for systemic absorption. Once absorbed, vitamin B12 powers two dual biochemical engines. Engine A is the folate link involved in DNA synthesis. It acts as a cofactor for the enzyme methionine synthase, converting homocysteine to methionine and facilitating the conversion of methyl tetrahydrofolate to active tetrahydrofolate, known as THF. The outcome is production of pyrimidine bases for DNA, and a stall in this pathway halts replication, causing megaloblastic anemia. Engine B is the independent pathway involved in myelin synthesis. It acts as a cofactor for the enzyme methylmalonyl coenzyme A mutase, converting methylmalonyl coenzyme A into succinyl coenzyme A, which is part of fatty acid metabolism. The outcome is building and maintaining nerve myelin sheaths, and a stall in this pathway causes accumulation of methylmalonic acid, known as MMA, driving neurological destruction. The causes of vitamin B12 deficiency fall into four primary avenues of disruption. Pillar 1 is autoimmune, known as pernicious anemia, where anti-intrinsic factor antibodies bind and inhibit intrinsic factor, blocking terminal ileum absorption, and this is more common in individuals of Northern European ancestry. Pillar 2 is surgical and structural causes including gastric bypass or gastrectomy, which cause loss of parietal cells and intrinsic factor. Terminal ileum resections, such as those seen in Crohn's disease, celiac inflammation, or infection with Diphyllobothrium latum, the fish tapeworm. Pillar 3 is dietary depletion, seen in strict vegan diets maintained for around 3 years without supplementation, eventually exhausting hepatic stores. Pillar 4 is toxins and medications, including nitrous oxide exposure, which inactivates cobalamin and chronic metformin treatment. The clinical manifestations of deficiency show up as hematological and mucosal breakdown. In the bloodstream, megaloblastic anemia develops where DNA synthesis stalls, creating fragile macrocytic red blood cells, presenting as profound fatigue, shortness of breath, and pallor. And this accounts for 1 to 2% of all anemias and 18 to 20% of clinical macrocytosis. In the bone marrow and eyes, premature destruction of fragile megaloblasts in the marrow releases bilirubin, causing mild scleral jaundice known as icterus. In the oral cavity, glossitis develops, presenting as a painful, smooth, abnormally red, beefy tongue and oral ulcers due to poor tissue regeneration. Systemic impacts include chronic diarrhea, abdominal discomfort, headaches, and documented severe infertility. One of the most serious consequences is subacute combined degeneration of the spinal cord, known as SCDSC. Its pathology mechanism is driven by the toxic folate independent accumulation of methylmalonic acid and homocysteine, which directly degrades myelin sheaths. Its anatomical targets include selective destruction of the dorsal columns, lateral corticospinal tracts, and spinocerebellar tracts. Clinically, this produces sensory deficits including loss of proprioception, meaning vibration and joint position sense, along with paresthesias such as tingling and numbness, motor deficits including sensory ataxia, resulting in an unsteady, uncoordinated gait, and neuropsychiatric deficits including progressive cognitive decline, altered mental status, and dementia. Diagnostic evaluation begins with serum B12 cutoffs. A normal level is greater than 300 picograms per milliliter. A borderline level is 200 to 300 picograms per milliliter, which requires enzymatic testing. A deficient level is less than 200 picograms per milliliter. Etiological assays include anti-intrinsic factor antibodies to confirm pernicious anemia, while as a historical note, the radio-labeled oral B12 Schilling test is now considered obsolete. On the complete blood count, known as CBC, deficiency shows as macrocytic anemia characterized by a mean corpuscular volume known as MCV greater than 100 femtoliters, alongside low hemoglobin, hematocrit, and reticulocyte counts. On the peripheral blood smear, macroovelocytes and classic hypersegmented neutrophils are visualized, meaning polymorphonuclear cells exhibiting 5 or more distinct lobes. Differentiating folate deficiency from vitamin B12 deficiency presents a real clinical challenge because both deficiencies present with identical macrocytic megaloblastic blood profiles with an MCV greater than 100 femtoliters. Homocysteine is elevated in both conditions since both vitamins are required cofactors to convert homocysteine to methionine. The decisive marker is methylmalonic acid, which relies uniquely on vitamin B12 through the enzyme methylmalonyl coenzyme A mutase. In folate deficiency, homocysteine levels are elevated, but methylmalonic acid levels remain normal. In vitamin B12 deficiency, homocysteine levels are elevated and methylmalonic acid levels are also elevated, making this the diagnostic marker. For clinical repletion, there are two main protocols. Oral repletion is used for dietary etiology, targeting individuals who are deficient due to strict vegan diets, with intact gastrointestinal absorption. The method involves standard oral B12 supplementation, which is completely adequate, and it is worth noting that extremely high oral doses can passively saturate intestinal receptors, sometimes proving effective even without intrinsic factor. Parenteral intramuscular repletion is used for malabsorptive etiology, targeting patients with pernicious anemia, gastric bypass, or ileal resection who lack intrinsic factor. The protocol involves 1000 micrograms given intramuscularly once weekly for 4 weeks to rapidly saturate depleted liver stores, followed by 1000 micrograms intramuscularly once monthly for life. As a monitoring note, routine B12 screening is advised for Crohn's disease and celiac patients. Treatment should begin as levels decline, and preemptive prophylaxis is not indicated. Bringing this all together, we can draw crucial distinctions between folate, also known as vitamin B9, and vitamin B12. In terms of chemical form, folate is a water soluble coenzyme, while vitamin B12 is a cobalt containing organometallic complex. In terms of hepatic storage, folate stores are 5 to 20 milligrams, depleting in 8 to 16 weeks, while vitamin B12 stores are 4 milligrams of massive reserves, lasting 1 to 3 years. Both share pathology including megaloblastic anemia, glossitis, and infertility. However, neurological lesions are absent in folate deficiency, while they are progressive and severe in vitamin B12 deficiency, presenting as subacute combined degeneration of the spinal cord. The enzymatic marker, methylmalonic acid, remains normal in folate deficiency but is elevated in vitamin B12 deficiency. This leads to a critical masking danger. Treating a vitamin B12 deficiency with folate will successfully resolve the megaloblastic anemia, but it will fatally mask and accelerate the irreversible progressive neurological damage of subacute combined degeneration of the spinal cord. Hope you have understood about vitamin B12, also known as cobalamin, its metabolic pathways, complex absorption, and neurological consequences. If you found this video useful, please watch and share with your friends and colleagues. Thank you.